the weight of empty brass. The men at the front said the ammunition arrived warm, not from the forge. Not that kind of warm. It wasn't from the engines that hauled it across the broken earth. It was warm, like flesh. No one reported it officially. Such things became rumors. And rumors were another disease the chaplains tried to burn out. Soldiers only crossed themselves before loading their rifles and muttered prayers louder than usual. The ammunition still fired until it didn't. Sasha Vorn had never fired a weapon in combat. He had never climbed into the trenches where artillery churned men into mud, or where the sky glowed red for months without darkness. He belonged to the Quartermaster Corps, buried beneath cathedrals of stone where millions of blessed cartridges were prepared and distributed. His duty was simple: inspect each crate, read the litany of purity, affix the wax seal, load the convoy. He was proud of that simplicity. He believed every cartridge was another prayer sent towards the enemy. The dreams began after Convoy 17 disappeared. The wagons had been found days later. The horses remained harnessed. The drivers remained seated. Every eye had been removed. There was no blood or no wounds across their bodies. Only empty sockets staring towards a forest no map acknowledged. The recovered ammunition was purified again. The priests insisted the cargo was clean. Sasha was among those ordered to inspect it. He found a single brass round that reflected his face incorrectly. Its mouth moved after he had stopped. He threw it into the furnace. It screamed all the way down. After that day, he woke with dirt beneath his fingernails. His boots were wet, though he remembered sleeping. His bunkmates assumed sleepwalking. Sasha hoped they were right. He tied himself to the bed. Each morning, the ropes were still knotted, yet mud covered the floor. The whispers arrived next. They weren't just voices. They were instructions. Tiny suggestions that slipped between his own thoughts. Check that crate again. Move this pallet. Open the seal. They never commanded harshly. They merely made every terrible idea sound like his own. He fought them. He recited scripture until his throat bled. He requested confession twice daily. The priests found no corruption. Holy water boiled when poured over him, but only briefly. They blamed stress. The war exhausted everyone. Weeks later, entire rifle companies reported failures. Blessed ammunition clicked harmlessly inside sanctified weapons. Bayonet charges followed. Few survivors returned. Investigators blamed poor manufacturing. A foreman was hanged. Nothing improved. Sasha watched workers bless tens of thousands of cartridges beneath stained glass windows, depicting saints burning demons alive. One evening, he blinked, only once. When his eyes opened, every crate had already been opened, every seal broken, every blessing wax cracked neatly in half. Workers shouted. Supervisors panicked. No one saw who had done it. Sasha was standing exactly where he had been before. His gloves smelled faintly of rotten flowers. The whispers finally gave him a name, not spoken, but remembered, as though he had always known it. The God beneath nails, an ancient thing imprisoned before history itself, buried somewhere below the oldest trenches, where foundations pierced forbidden stone. It did not ask for worship. It only asked for passage. A bullet entered every battlefield. A bullet crossed every line. A bullet reached every heart. Sasha stopped sleeping entirely. He feared what happened while unconscious. His hands developed tiny cuts. At first it was dozens, and then it progressed. Now there were hundreds of tiny cuts all over his hands. From each wound seeped black dust instead of blood. When he washed them away, more appeared. The dust gathered into symbols across the sink. They resembled loading manifests. The first priest who noticed disappeared. The second priest hanged himself after interviewing Sasha. His suicide note contained only inventory numbers. Every number matched ammunition badges Sasha had signed. Military police arrested him. His wrists were chained. His cell was ringed with relics. 3 holy icons hung above his door. Every hour, guards checked inside. He never moved. Yet, every inspection found his hands blackened. Every inspection found another ammunition ledger rewritten in handwriting no expert could identify. Every altercation redirected convoys towards the bloodiest fronts. Executions increased. Whole battalions died because rifles jammed at impossible moments. Blessed shells burst harmlessly into showers of white ash. Machine guns spat casings, but no projectiles. The enemy advanced through walls of silence. Investigators searched factories, foundries, churches, supply routes. No pattern emerged. Only Sasha. Always Sasha. Always somewhere nearby. The High Chaplain ordered an exorcism witnessed by 200 clergy. Incense filled the chamber. Choirs sang until the stone walls trembled. Sasha screamed, not from pain, but from laughter. His jaw split wider than bone allowed. Inside his mouth stood another mouth. Inside that one stood another. Each recited shipping records. Every convoy, every route, every destination. It recited it perfectly. The candles extinguished themselves. When they were relit, 19 priests had vanished. Their robes remained standing, still occupied, only empty. The command was given: burn him. No trial and no delay. A pyre the size of a chapel was erected. Chains forged from melted relics wrapped around his body. Blessed oil soaked every log. The execution was witnessed by thousands. Sasha wept the entire time. I never wanted this," he whispered. "They told me I was helping." The flames consumed him. The screaming lasted until dawn. When the ashes cooled, nothing remained except a single brass cartridge. It was still warm, perfectly polished, and untarnished. The executioners threw it into the sea. 3 days later, it appeared inside a shipment bound for the northern trenches. Months passed. The sabotage continued. Worse than before. Investigators finally uncovered the truth. Sasha had altered almost nothing himself. He had merely touched the crates. After that, every blessed cartridge copied the corruption into the next crate, stacked beside it, like a plague, like scripture rewritten by disease. One tainted round became 10. 10 became thousands. 1,000 became millions. The blessings remained visible. The prayers remained engraved. Only the holiness inside had been hollowed out. No ritual could detect it. No saint could sense it. The corruption hid beneath sanctity itself. In the final report, sealed forever beneath the deepest archive vaults, the investigators estimated that by the time Sasha Vorn died, more than 19% of all holy ammunition across the front had passed through his hands. The report concluded with a single recommendation: do not fire. No one obeyed. There was nothing else left to use. So the armies loaded their rifles. The priests blessed empty brass. The artillery roared with shells that carried prayers no farther than the mouths of their guns. And somewhere beneath the oldest trench, in darkness older than faith itself, an unseen God listened to millions of harmless clicks echo across the battlefield and understood that it no longer needed followers, at least not for now.